Did you know that the only difference between green and black olives is ripeness? Green olives are harvested before they're ripe, and both are inedible until they're cured. There's a few different types of olive oil as well, and I'm going to be using extra virgin olive oil today in my smoked salt and beet hummus. I'm Michael Williams, and that's what we're cooking on the coast. Welcome to the kitchen. I don't usually play the stock market, but I did invest in chickpeas, and I amassed a fortune. And that's my attempt to introduce our recipe today. Smoked salt and beet hummus. Let's get cooking. We're not gonna start with the hummus. We're gonna start with making some cashew butter. When you have a fantastic blender, you can make your own nut butters, nut or seed butters. I've got some pan-roasted cashews here. Check that out, beauty. We're gonna add these right into our Vitamix and just get them moving. I've got a plunger here. Check it out, it's really simple. So in they go. In goes, or on goes, the lid, and just fire it up. Now this process takes some time, a few minutes to get it really smooth. If you need to, and you want to, go ahead and add some MCT oil. So you may need to start and stop a few times. We're looking pretty good here. And you might be wondering what MCT oil is. It's the kind of key component to bulletproof coffee, which has been kind of a craze for a while now. Super great for mental clarity, focus. And so adding a little bit of MCT oil into our cashew butter is gonna be awesome. So we're a few minutes in now, and we've got a nice crunchy cashew butter. I would let it run for a few more minutes to get it super smooth. All right, so let's get our cashew butter out of the blender and into this bowl here. And then I'm gonna use the blender without washing, I might add, to start making our smoked salt and beet hummus. And the reason, I'm all about saving steps in the kitchen. I'm big on it. Anytime you don't need to do a step and you can save it, absolutely. And in fact, in this example, we're gonna leave a little bit of that cashew butter in the blender and incorporate it into our hummus. It's gonna be dynamite. So we'll get most of our hummus out, but I'm not gonna be too shy about leaving a little bit behind. Basically, a classic hummus is chickpeas, which we've got here. It's lemon juice, it's tahini, which is a sesame seed paste. And so instead of the sesame seed paste, we're using cashew butter. So just some parallels there. So let's take a look here. I've got some chickpeas. Now, you can use canned chickpeas, but kind of one of the keys to an amazing hummus is making sure your chickpeas are dry. So I'm all about cooking my chickpeas from scratch, and as soon as they're done, which takes about an hour and a half of simmering, you want to get them drained nicely and then onto a sheet pan so that they can dry. They steam themselves dry. Nice and dry these guys are, and they're ready to go into the blender. So, in they go. Let's get ourselves some lime zest and lime juice now. So I'm gonna grab my limes, let's zest away. So key to zesting is being certain that you don't go too deep. You just wanna get that very outside layer. So with our lime, we just want that green outside layer. Start getting into the white and we start getting into the bitter. And I don't want bitter in my hummus. I want it smooth, sweet, buttery, salty. I don't really want to incorporate too much bitter flavor. So really important to keep the lime moving. And you see I'm constantly just checking, oh, there's a spot I missed, there's a spot I missed. Let's get a little bit more. Perfect little rings is what I'm going for here. We've got enough, which is probably now. Let's scoop that zest up and get it into the blender. Beautiful. Okay, so now we want a juice. So let's get those limes sliced in half. And we'll get all that juice out of those 2 limes. So a little bit of lime juice instead of lemon juice. A little bit of cashew butter instead of tahini. And then we're gonna bring in some fantastic color with some roasted beets. First, I'm gonna get all of our juice. I'm not gonna add all of this juice at once though. I wanna kind of use it to adjust the consistency of my hummus. So that's probably good there. I'm gonna start with some for sure. So I'm gonna pour a little bit into the blender. We'll start maybe right there. And we're gonna add our roasted beets. So these guys I roasted in a 400-degree oven for about 35 minutes. Cut the top and the bottom off, peel them, little drizzle of oil, salt, pepper, ready to go. So I'm gonna add these into the blender now. Those are gonna get pureed beautifully into our hummus. We've got our lime juice, our lime zest. We're definitely gonna need a little bit of salt. So we'll start with just a bit and maybe add a little bit more later if needed. We're gonna get our olive oil at the ready. This stuff is beautiful, great flavor, lovely olive oil. So basically we're ready to get our, oh wait. I almost forgot. We need garlic. Rebecca, do we have any garlic? Right on. Okay, so a few cloves in there, absolutely. I can't believe I almost forgot. Because fresh garlic is really absolutely one of those key ingredients that you just can't have hummus without. A few big cloves should do the trick. That looks great. Okay, so those guys we're just gonna drop right in. And now we're ready to fire up our blender. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna use my plunger. Check that out. The color's coming through nicely. Okay, so let's add a little bit more of that lime juice actually. A little bit more liquid in there is gonna be beneficial. So I'm gonna add some of the lime juice into the blender and we'll fire it back up. And you know what? Smoked salt and beet hummus couldn't be smoked salt and beet hummus without some smoked salt. So let's get some of that in there too. And one more scrape down and we should be golden. This smells incredible, looking great, but we do want it to get moving a little bit more. That's what we wanted there. So, our hummus. Look at that color, look at that intense, beautiful color. Let's give this a taste. Fantastic. So, we've made our cashew butter. We've got our smoked salt and beet hummus, beautifully mixed together. What we're doing here is we're getting the components to build a board. So, we've got some stuff underway, and we're gonna carry on and do just one more thing before the break. I wanna make some toasts. I've got this beautiful sprouted wheat squirrely bread. I've got a hot oven ready for it. And so what I'm gonna do is just lay these out. We're gonna use these to help build our board as well. Olive oil right here. So I'm gonna go do a nice liberal drizzle of olive oil on our toast. I wanna be really, really not afraid at all. This beautiful stuff. It's gonna make some incredibly flavored, crispy toasts that are gonna be used for dipping, for enjoying a few different creations that are gonna be coming up. A little bit of salt, a little bit of granulated garlic. One of the few times I will use granulated garlic as opposed to fresh on toasts. Love it. And some fresh pepper. I love my pepper. All right, let's get that in the oven. We'll be back later in the show to pull together our smoked salt and beet hummus. But first, we're road tripping. Catch you after the break.
Cookin on the Road is brought to you by Cold Star Solutions, an integral part of Vancouver Island's grocery supply chain for 20 years.
We're here at Cure Meat and Cheese in Cobble Hill. And you know what, Bradford, all I had to do was follow my nose because it sure smells like you're smoking something in here.
Oh, lots of different meats. We smoke anything from hams to things like we have here on the board. Our andouille sausage. Andouille, a bit of a Cajun style sausage.
Right. One of my favorites.
Oh, awesome. A little bit of heat in the end.
Yeah.
So as long as you like that spice, it's really good.
Yeah. I'm seeing some beautiful meat curing in the window over here. Like, how long does that stuff take to cure? I've always wondered that.
Yeah, there's a loaded question because it depends on the meat, it depends on the fat content. We try to temperature control and humidity control, but sometimes the humidity even plays a little havoc with what's going on outside.
Right, so it's a little bit of by feel.
By feel, by weight, a month to 2 months, sometimes even 3.
Looks like we got some ingredients to make some pate here. Is that what you're about to do?
That's what we're about to do.
Or is that what I'm about to do?
Yeah, exactly. I can walk you through the steps.
Okay,
so,
cool. Let's do it.
So the first thing we actually want to do, if you want to bring over the livers in the bowl.
Yeah, and what kind of liver is that?
So these ones happen to be chicken liver. And then if you grab the onions and garlic there too.
Yeah.
And then our paté spice. That can all go in. It's already been
wow, that's a heavy dose, eh?
A fair bit of paté spice.
And that's a secret blend?
Secret blend.
Okay.
It's actually a combination of about 4 or 5 different spices.
Okay.
So bring spices in whole.
Nice.
Toast them, grind them here.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
And then a little bit of salt and a little pepper, and you can just about a pinch of each of those.
Okay.
That's a fair bit.
Heavy pinch?
A heavy pinch of those. And we do put a little bit of curing salt in with that. Now what that does is the curing salt is it helps keep the paté's color.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't kind of gray off or whatever.
Otherwise it'll be completely gray and then people get turned off by that color. And all we're going to do is just so it starts to come together. For that part, we can now add in the eggs and the cream. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Add the butter slowly.
Add the butter slowly.
Right. Emulsify it.
Emulsification.
Yeah.
100%.
And then how long does it bake for?
So that'll bake for a couple hours, low and slow.
Perfect.
That's the idea. If you start to bake it too high, you're going to scramble all of it, and it's just going to come out really lumpy and not creamy.
Yeah.
So you don't. We work so hard to incorporate all that butter into here in emulsification, like you were talking about. If we get it too high, if we were just to slide that into an oven without a water bath, it's just going to start to leach all out.
So we don't have a couple of hours to wait for that to finish. Do you have a finished product we can give a try?
Oh, for sure. You got to taste it.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, put some right here for you. Bring some of that on up here.
Beautiful.
Just a little taster of that too. We usually give about a 100-gram slice, but you might not need all that at once. So
yeah,
just
probably
put a little
not.
on that spoon for you.
Wow, so smooth, delicious. I need to take some of that home.
Perfect. We can get some for you.
Well, thank you so much, Brad. This has been awesome.
You're welcome. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Welcome back into the kitchen. You know what, as a chef, one of my favorite things to do is creating a tasting board. All the different flavors and textures and things to play with. We've got our toasts ready to go. We've got our cashew butter. I'm just gonna scoop this into the beautiful container I've got here. You know what else I wanna do? A little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil onto our smoked salt and beet hummus. That's beautiful. So let's talk roasted, oven roasted tomatoes. These little flavor bursts of tomatoes. I'm gonna get these onto the tray. I'm gonna slice up some shallots here, and we're gonna drizzle those on top, along with a bunch of garlic. You can't go wrong with garlic. So what I wanna do here is, as I've done here, cut the top and the bottom off, and then I'm gonna cut it in half. Okay, so we're gonna sprinkle those onto the tray, along with our tomatoes. Scatter them around. Let's get some garlic rolling now, okay? Got some almost peeled garlic from the last time I needed garlic. So I'll just finish crunching that a little bit. Make sure that I've got easy access, nicely almost peeled, beautiful. You know, a couple of them are a little bit big. So what I'm gonna do is I'm basically just gonna cut these in half. And then we'll get those on the tray as well. So I'm gonna sprinkle those onto the tray now. Let's grab that extra virgin olive oil again. We're gonna drizzle that liberally right on top. Gonna be nice and liberal here. Because what's gonna happen is as these tomatoes concentrate down, not only will we get all kinds of beautiful flavors happening, but this extra virgin olive oil is going to turn into a sauce. The tomatoes are going to contribute, the shallots are going to contribute, the garlic, everything's going to all come together. We definitely need some fresh pepper in there. And then next up, we've got some beautiful balsamic vinegar here. Drizzle that onto the tray. And then the last thing we need is some salt. We'll sprinkle that on. Okay, and now this goes into the oven. Except that I've already got one done. Check this out, folks. This is beauty. So 200 degrees for about 2 or 3 hours, and they slowly concentrate down. You know, that juice spreads out, everything kind of concentrates and gets happy. And so we're just gonna pile these into this little dish here, and then check out what we do next. Make sure we get our tomatoes, and then we're gonna drizzle that sauce right into that little container there. Check this out. All the smells. A couple rogue tomatoes fall in there, that's fine. But that's gonna be a fantastic sauce that we can use. Let's get our toast on the board. Beauty. Another cut on those, corner to corner. We'll pile them up on the board. Just randomly scattered is the way to do it. Okay, you know what else we've got? I've already prepared some grilled vegetables. We've got some grilled yam here, grilled red onion. I'm gonna add those to the board as well. As you can see, things are coming together, and I bet your mouth is starting to water, because I know mine is. This is looking absolutely fantastic so far. And we got a couple surprise ingredients. Let's go ahead and grab from the fridge our duck pate and smoked cheddar cheese. Can't beat a smoked cheddar. That's one of the best cheddars you can get, absolutely. We'll get our pate on there. Now this is duck liver pate. And you know, as a North American, many of us, me included, don't really get enough of that organ meat. It's such a fantastic vitamin and mineral loaded ingredient, you know, portion of the animal that often gets discarded. So we really want to focus on bringing those back into our diet, using the whole animal. It helps everything, sustainability, as well as taking care of ourselves and our systems. So a little bit of smoked cheddar on there. Let's open up this beautiful duck pate. Just gonna place that right on the board. Oh yeah, this is looking great. Okay, let's play. Let's play. We've got so many fantastic ways to create here. It's like a choose your own adventure. There you have it. Smoked salt and beet hummus. We've used it to build a fantastic board. Ready for guests?
Pairings are brought to you by Liquor Plus. Discover the plus.
What better way to enjoy delicious culinary creations than with the perfect beverage pairing? Jason McIsaac from Sheringham Distillery.
Hey, Michael, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Welcome to the kitchen. Great to have you
Thank
here.
you very much.
So I told you I was going to build a board.
Yeah,
you know,
it looks great.
all kinds of flavors.
Tons of different flavors, yeah.
Smoked salt, beet hummus.
Beautiful.
We got a duck liver pate. I made some cashew butter, these roasted tomatoes. How the heck,
It's delicious.
how are you going to pair this? You know, there was a bit of a debate whether you were going to go with the kazuki or the seaside. Please.
Right, so there are so many different flavors on there. We decided to go with a gin and tonic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it'd be great for all flavors.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice broad way to kind of cover the bases.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So we have, we're going to use our seaside gin.
Yeah.
And we have a homemade syrup.
Lime and thyme.
Great. So we'll put some seaside gin.
So I understand you guys won a pretty impressive award with your gin.
Yes,
Is that
we
correct?
did. With our seaside gin, we won the best contemporary gin in the world at the World Gin Awards
That
in
is
London.
Incredible.
In 2019,
London of all places. Okay.
February 2019. Yeah.
That's incredible.
It was. It was very exciting. It's still very exciting.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
You know, it's not something that gets old too quickly.
No,
It's something you can
not at all.
kind of talk about and impress people with for a long time.
Well, it's very exciting and very humbling at the same time, you know. There's some syrup. Now we'll add some soda.
may I?
Yes, please.
All right, just say when.
That's good.
Okay.
Terrific.
Nice color on that.
Thank you. Yeah, so Sheringham Distillery, my wife Elaine and I started Sheringham Distillery in 2015.
Okay.
We were out in Shirley, which is about 25 minutes outside of COC.
Yes.
And then 2018, we moved and opened up a new shop in COC.
And so, how's the new location going?
It's great. We have larger equipment. We have more space to operate. It's easier for shipping and receiving, and it's easier location for people to come visit us.
Yeah.
Right in the core of COC.
It's pretty sweet.
Some
You know what?
lime?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, one for you, one for me.
I don't think you can have gin and tonic without lime. I mean, you can for sure, but it always makes it, right? Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's see how this goes.
Let's try it.
Oh, that's delicious. So nice. You know, there's so many flavors that are popping out of your gin.
Yeah, and my I have a culinary background, as you know.
Yes.
So what I tried to do when I was designing the gin was designing it like a meal or like a dish, to make it robust but also well balanced. And some of the botanicals are here in these bottles. We have juniper, coriander, lavender, rose petals, and winged kelp, which comes from the Strait of Juan de Fuca. It's
That's
one
amazing.
of the unique aspects of our gin.
I love it when, you know, all kinds of delicious, you know, herbs and you know, aromatics go into an alcohol or a drink that I'd be using in a kitchen. You know, it makes it, it just brings everything together nicely.
Absolutely.
So let's see how we're doing here.
Yeah, cheers.
So that's the smoked beet. Oh, smoked salt and beet.
I have some pate here. Fantastic.
Lots of flavor happening there. It's a nice
It's a great
combo.
combination. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel like gin and tonic can be drank all year round, not only in the summer.
Right.
Fall, winter, spring.
And with all kinds of flavors.
All kinds of different flavors, just like we have here on this board.
I'm going with gin and tonic with my boards from now on.
Yeah, why not? Right.
Thanks for coming in today. It's been a pleasure. Really nice to see you again.
Yeah, great to see you again. Thanks for having me in.
Yeah.
Really
Check
great.
out our website where you'll find details on today's recipe. I'm Michael Williams. Thanks for watching. And don't forget, dinner's better when we eat it together. Let's keep eating.